Hello everyone, CatWeazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror, the living card game Night of the Zealot, where we're just about to start scenario 3, the Devourer Below. Now we're up to turn 22 and this is episode 14, but before we go ahead we've got to make a slight change because I made a slight error last turn. What it was when we were spending the experience points for Wendy, we actually took this card, Hot Streak. But as you can see, it has 4 pips on it. That means it's a level 4 rogue card. She can't use level 4 rogue card. She's not a rogue herself. She's a survivalist. And this is not allowed in her deck. So we're going to have to put this back. So we'll put that back. And instead we're going to take Bulletproof Vest. Now Bulletproof Vest is a general card, so she can take this. It's a level 3 card, costs 2 to put into play. It's got a combat and a wildcard icon. It is an item and armour. Bullets are one thing, 12-inch fangs are quite another. Well said. It gives us 4 extra health, so we can put wounds on this should we be able to get it into play. So that is the new card that we're going to take. Because of that, baseball bat, Leo DeLuca, all the good cards that we picked out aren't really valid because we were using a deck that had an invalid card in it. So just to make sure that everything's fair, what we're going to do, we're going to shuffle everything back into the deck and we're going to draw again. Thanks to everybody who's been complimenting my shuffling last episode. But as you can tell, because I'm talking over it, my shuffling hasn't improved whatsoever. It was the fact that I speeded it up 1.5 times that made it look really good. So if you do see my shuffling get better during the course of any episode, it's because I've speeded it up. Right, there we go, that'll do, won't it? So let's cut them and we will draw and mulligan. Scavenging, well I think we'll be getting rid of that. Abandoned and alone, get rid of that. We can't have a weakness. Dig deep, we'll get rid of that. Bulletproof vest, we'll probably get rid of that as well actually. I need Leo DeLuca. Leather coat, God we've pulled some rubbish out. And survival instinct, all those are going back. And pick another 5. So we do have manual dexterity, put it down here because we can't get rid of it. Opportunist. Oh, this is looking bad. Cunning distraction. We haven't got a single asset yet. Oh. Wendy's amulet, well at least that's good. And last one, burglary. We have got a rubbish hand. So let's put these back. A quick shuffle. Well, that is awful, to be honest. And that is really bad. Really, really bad. So after getting a really good hand with baseball bat and Leo DeLuca, we've now got an absolutely appalling one. But Wendy's amulet, at least that's okay. So we'll try and get that in play pretty early. Okay, so that is the end of the redraw, and we now have legal decks. So let's get on with turn 22. Because we're starting a new scenario, we won't be doing a mythos phase, so we'll get straight into the investigation phase. And here we are at the investigation phase, but just before we crack on with that, we've got to have a look at the main path, because both of our investigators are there so we can reveal it. So let's have a look at the unrevealed side first. Location, Woods. Hangman's Brook separates Uptown from the woods south of Arkham. Passing over the small bridge, you follow the main path deeper into the forest. Let's whiz it over. So here we are, main path, location Woods. It's got a shroud of 2, but we do not have any clues here. Woods. The main path is connected to each other woods location. If we're on the main path, we can resign as an action. There is nothing we can do to stop them. You flee from the woods, leaving Arkham to its grisly fate. Well, we'll try and avoid that. But that is the main path. So we'll put that back in here. And now we'll get on with the investigation phase properly. Let's get on with our first player, and I think we will have Roland go first. And here we are with Roland. So what's he going to do first? Well, I think first of all, let's get the beat cop and machete out, I think. So, but that'll cost us 7. We've only got 5 resources. So, I think we'll promote machete first. So there we go. Put machete in our hand. That costs 3. For his second action, I think what we'll do is we will spend an emergency cash, and we will get those 3 back. And for our final action, we're going to promote Beat Cop, which will cost 4. Whoop. And that'll be his final action. So, right at the start, let's get that sort of thing out of the way. We'll move these across. Those are his 3 actions. So let's get across to Wendy Adams and her actions. And here we are with Wendy. For her first action, let's equip her amulet. Let's get it straight up there right away. So that costs 2. In fact, let's have a quick read of it. I don't think we've seen it before. So Wendy's amulet, it's cost 2. It's an asset, 2 wildcard. Icons, item relic, Wendy Adams deck only. You may play the topmost event in your discard pile as if it were in your hand. Brilliant. Forced. After you play an event, place it on the bottom of your deck instead of in your discard pile. So when you use this, yeah, play it from the top of your discard pile. Then, as soon as you've done that, you've got to put it on the bottom of that deck. So you can't keep using the same card again and again. So it's an amulet, so we're only allowed 1 at a time. So she has filled her amulet slot. Excellent. Right, what's she going to do next? Well, I think she's going to draw 2 cards, because I'm just desperately hoping that we get a decent card. So for our last 2, well, we'll do 1 action first and draw a card. Let's see what we get. Thank God, we got really lucky and we got Leo, so that's brilliant. So, he gets put down there. Unfortunately now, we don't have 5 resources, but what we will do for our final action this turn is we will gain a resource. The reason for that is we will get a resource during the upkeep phase. That'll put us up to 5. Then we've got enough to put Leo in play. So, not bad, but yes, I'd have preferred to get Leo straight out at the beginning, but that's not too bad. The only unfortunate thing about this investigation phase is we haven't got any exploring done, unfortunately, so we will try and put that right next turn. But before then, it is the enemy phase. Here we are at the enemy phase. Unfortunately, we have no enemies whatsoever, so that was really quick. So we can now move on to the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase, so let's refresh all our actions. And we've got no cards that we need to refresh, so that's fine. So it's pull a card each. Roland first. And Roland gets the automatic. Fantastic. So, cost of 4 asset. It's got an agility icon. Item, weapon, firearm, uses 4 ammo. Spend 1 ammo, fight. You get +1 combat for this attack, and the attack deals +1 damage. We love it. So we can have this and the machete out at the same time because they're both one-handed weapons. Fabulous. So we will put that there. Then it is Wendy. Come on. And she gets leather coat. So, asset, combat icon, item armour. The coat was not the most fashionable choice, but it did feel warm and reassuring in its bulk. And that could give us 2 extra health. So we'll put that there. Let's check hand sizes. They're fine. So, last thing to do is a resource each. So that's 1 for Wendy and 1 for Roland. And that is the end of the upkeep phase and the end of turn 22. So let's get straight into turn 23, where we will have a mythos phase. And here we are at the mythos phase. So first things first, Doom. So we've got Doom, which puts us up to 2. There we go. Fantastic. So next it is pull some laugh and chuckle cards. So this one is for Roland, and he gets Rotting Remains, Treachery. Revelation, test willpower, 3. For each point you fail, take 1 horror. A sickening display of gore causes you to retch. You're glad this wasn't you. Now, his willpower is, what is it? 3. So it's 0 as it stands. And can we chuck anything at it for willpower? No. Can Wendy help out? She don't have much willpower there. And what I keep cunning distraction. She's going to chuck Opportunist at it and the wild card. They're both in the same location, so she can help out. So she's going to make it a -1 or better by discarding this card. That is a skill, not an event. So her amulet won't let us take it out of the discard pile, but it's not a great card anyway, so let's use it. So we need a -1 or better, or he loses a horror. And he gets a -3. Not good enough. So for each point you fail by, we've lost 2 horror already. Which isn't fantastic, because he's only got 5 sanity. So there we go. This could be a very short scenario. So he's down to 3. We've still got to pick another one for Wendy. And she has got Umordoth's Wrath. This seems like a really great one to get early. Treachery again. Curse. Revelation. Test willpower 5. For each point you fail by, you must either choose and discard a card from your hand, or take 1 damage and 1 horror. A deathly chill engulfs you, attempting to suck your life force away. Oh, this is not a good start. So we are testing willpower. 5 against 4, so we'd need a +1. This is bad. We're just going to have to suck it up, I think. Oh no, we can play... Let's play Cunning Distraction. So we'll commit Cunning Distraction. At least we make it a 0. Oh, you can't see it, can you? So that'll make it a 0. So... and we can draw again with a special ability, but this is... so we need a 0 or better, and we get a -1. We'll keep the -1, and we'll just get rid of a card. Yeah, because we missed by 1. So rather than lose horror or anything, we will lose a card and we'll lose leather coat. So, 3 cards down already. Not good. Not good at all. So, what is good though, what I have noticed is The first scenario is pretty easy, and that's pretty good, because like obviously you're just starting the game and stuff. Midnight Masks is a little harder, and I imagine this one's going to be the toughest of the lot, which it should be really. It's the final scenario. But the way they've ramped it up is it's quite good. It's not too bad. So, you know, you notice even on easy and standard with the tokens that they've got worse and worse and worse. So they are actually making it harder as you go along, which, considering, you know, we've had the opportunity to get ourselves better cards and whatnot, that's obviously the way to go. So it is feeling pretty tough, I must say. So that is it for the Mythos phase. Let's get straight into the investigation phase. And here we are at the investigation phase, where we're going to have Wendy go first. I think she's our best character to actually go hunting and having a look round. So, but first of all, she's obviously going to spend 5 of her resources, and she's going to put Leo into play, which will give us an extra action. So we'll just swap those round, and there we go. So she's got an extra action, but she has used 1 to promote Leo. For her second action, I think she is going to move. So she's going to move to this first card here. We may as well do it this way, I think. So she's moving to Arkham Woods. Remember, they are all connected. I'll put some markers and like paths out once we've got a better idea of where everything's going. But as it stands, the main path is connected to all of these. So let's have a look at this first one. Location, woods. Growing up, you were always wanting to stay out of the woods at night. Now you know why. So this is the only one we'll look at. All the fronts, all the unrevealed ones will be exactly the same as this. Now let's see where we've gone to. Ooh, the old house. So location, woods. It's got a shroud of 2. That's not too bad. And it's got 1 clue per investigator. So it'll have 2 clues on it. Woods. This location is investigated using willpower instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. So we're using willpower rather than intellect. A house waits at the edge of the trail covered in vines. Inside, the walls and floors are blood-stained and littered with dirt, mud and discarded bones. What are Arkham Police Department doing? Did they do anything at all? O'Malley, what are you doing? Should be checking this sort of stuff out. So there we go. This is the old house. And I'll just sort this out. Won't be a second. So there we are. I've got the old house set up. And we've done a little path to it and everything. So that was a second action. And we've got to put the clues on it. So there we go. It has 2 clues. What is she going to do for a third action? Well, we may as well start getting some clues. She has got a willpower of 4 against a shroud of 2. That is a -2 or better. I don't think we will add anything to it. I don't think we can, actually. And we have a -1. So that's successful. We get our first clue. Put that on here. And I think for a second action, we'll do exactly the same again. Let's try and get the second clue. And we get a -5. And something horrible happens as well, doesn't it? -5, if there is an ancient enemy in play, reveal another token. Well, there isn't an ancient enemy in play, so it's just -5, and we missed it by a mile. Are we going to play a card and try again? Yes, why not? Yeah, we'll play burglary. So we'll have another go. See if we can get a -2 or better. And we get a -1 again, so that's cool. So there we go. So that was her third and fourth action. Just let's check. We put Leo into play, 1 action. She moved to the old house, 2 actions, and she's picked up 2 clues. That's her final 2 actions. That is it for Wendy Adams. Let's move across to Roland Banks. And here we are with Roland. What is he going to do? Well, I do not like the fact that he's now on 3 sanity. I do not like that at all. But I suppose he will have to do a bit of exploring as well, I think. He has got Beat Cop, he has got the machete, so at least the Beat Cop gives him a couple of extra sanity, but it's not ideal at all. We haven't got enough to promote the automatic yet. Oh, in fact, yes, we'll do that and then he'll explore, I think. Yeah, so we'll play Emergency Cash. So both of his emergency caches have gone now. That gives him 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. And with this one, that is the 4 that he is going to pay to promote the automatic. So let's put that up here. And it needs 4 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. It's all loaded up. We need to remember that both our hands now have a weapon in them, so anything else that requires a hand, we will have to get rid of one of these. So he's promoted that. That was an action, and he did emergency cash as well. So that was 2. For his final action, he will move and he'll go to this second location here. So exactly the same, and so we can just flip it over. Arkham Woods, the Tangled Thicket. Location Woods. Well, it's got a Shroud of 2, and again we get a single clue for each investigator, so that'll be 2. Woods. This location is investigated using Strength Brilliant instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. So there's probably a few of these. There'll probably be one, like a normal intellect one, and what's the other? There'll be an agility one as well, probably. And an old horse trail in colonial days. This overgrown path hasn't been used for over a decade, and it doesn't look like it has either. So this is the next one. I'll put that down. I'll check these connection symbols and see if we've got any interconnections. Won't be a moment. And there we are. Put a couple of clues on it. They're not interconnected themselves, so they just join on to the main path. And that was his final action. So, used his last emergency cash, promoted the 45 automatic, moved and explored the Arkham Woods. So that is it for the investigation phase. Next up, it's the enemy phase. Here we are at the enemy phase. Once again, we have no enemies, so we can very quickly move on to the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase. So we've got our actions. Let's get those back. Very good. We've got no exhausted cards to refresh, so that means we need to pull a card each. So first up, we have Roland. What does he get? Barricade. Cost 0, it's an event. So it has a willpower icon, an intellect icon, and a agility icon. It's a seeker card, barricade, insight, tactic, attached to your location. Non-elite enemies cannot move into the attached location. Forced. When an investigator leaves the attached location, discard barricade. Could be useful. Could be useful. So let's put that there. And then it's Wendy. And let's flip that over. She's got Dig Deep. This card wants to come out. I keep pulling it, didn't I? I kept pulling it when I was doing me. I think I did it on my first incorrect pull, and then when I redid it, I think I pulled this out as well. So it's managed to get out in the end. So it costs 2, it's an asset, has a willpower and an agility icon, it's a talent, it's a free action, you can spend a resource to get +1 willpower for this skill test, or as a free action you can spend 1 resource to get +1 agility for this skill test. Not brilliant. And then it's resources, so 1 for Wendy and another 1 for Roland, who has 2. And that is it for the upkeep phase. And that is it for turn 22. And that will be it for the episode as well. I think we'll leave it there. We'll do 2 turns an episode. So this will be slightly shorter because we didn't have a mythos phase at the beginning of the scenario. But it's about time I did a shorter episode anyway. It might mean that I can't make as many errors. So we will have to see. So how did that go? Well, as a start, it's gone pretty well because we've got no monsters on the board. And we've managed to pick up a couple of clues. The only bad things that have happened is Roland losing 2 sanity is bad. We could really do with him getting his Elder Sign pendant out as quickly as possible. From what I've seen in playthroughs on the net, Roland is just a monster killer in this scenario. It's Wendy that does all the heavy lifting, but if he goes bonkers, then he's not going to be able to help her out much. So we could really do with finding a way to keep his sanity. Otherwise, we're going to really struggle. Wendy's doing great. We got Leo DeLuca out, thankfully, first draw. Well, first proper draw. So that was good. We've managed to get him into play. She hasn't got many cards out on the board as it stands, but we'll have to start building that up as quickly as we can. But we have investigated a couple of these woods locations. We've got 2 more to do. We've got 2 clues. We need 6 to turn the act over. And when we start next turn, we will be putting an extra doom on. So that will be, we'll have 3 doom at the start of next episode. So during the next episode, probably the, what will it be, turn 23, we will be flicking over that agenda card. And I imagine a monster will come out then, if not before, in the encounter decks. Righto, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the views, thanks for all the subscriptions, and thank you for all the likes, as well as all the strategic and tactical tips, and most importantly, for pointing out where I've gone wrong, which I've been doing a lot recently. Hopefully, not quite as badly this turn, but we shall see, we shall see. So, there we are. Oh, and thank you, as ever, to everybody who went across to Board Game Links to upvote the site, and everybody who has supported the threads and the geek list and what have you on BGG. That is amazing. Thank you very much. So, that is it for episode 14. I hope you will join me for episode 15 of Arkham Horror, the living card game, Night of the Zealot, where we will continue with the scenario of the Devourer below. But until then, this is me, CatWeazle, signing off. Toodaloo.